Hey you guys, I am sure you've heard the news by now. It's been everywhere. Missing Link has officially been cancelled. Definitely sad, for sure. I am very disappointed, very sad. This game was ready to launch this summer, it looked like, so when suddenly the plug was pulled, it was pretty shocking. The biggest question probably on a lot of people's mind is why. So I thought I would walk through what we publicly know about why this game was cancelled. The first reason is the simple fact that this is a mobile game. There is a lot of people that just do not like mobile games. I understand the sentiment. Most communities and fandoms are not fans of mobile games, Cage fans included. This community in particular has had a turbulent history with mobile games because for a vast majority of people, they are here for the story. Don't get me wrong, I love the story of Union Cross and Dark Road, but for the vast majority of people, the long gaps between updates was tough for them to get through. Gameplay elements also had to be creative to get around mobile restrictions, which is how we ended up with the medal system in Union Cross. Missing Link looked like it was finally utilizing the power of mobile devices, but people still have reservations about that, which kind of leads into my next point. Missing Link's core mechanic and function was using GPS. It's baked into the very DNA of this game, which for some was exciting, but for others completely turned them off to the game. Many felt it was cashing in on the Pokemon Go hype. There was a free roam mode, so you didn't have to use your location or actively walk around to interact with the game, but the core system of walking to nodes to get prizes or engage in a raid is still there. I personally think that system was also really interesting, and I was excited to see all the unique quirks that were going to be included. Making a whole game revolve around one really core mechanic or system can be really tricky. So mobile game status and including GPS already made things a little shaky in the public eye. Adding Gacha was another nail in the coffin though. Gacha games, if you don't know, are the games that encourage you to spend currency to get either characters or items in that game. Usually the things that you are trying to get have some perk or benefit to either your standing in the game or boosting your success rate of completing the goals in that game. In Union Cross, the best medals you could use came from banners. For a while, there wasn't even a guarantee that you would pull that medal, and if you ran out of currency, it was very easy to swipe your card and get more. Predatory in the gacha space isn't even a strong enough word to describe the practices that these systems use. There are analysts and psychologists that work with some of the larger, bigger companies that put out these games to maximize the pressure and FOMO that people feel that they'll spend money on what are essentially JPEGs and pixels. And on top of that, you don't even own it, so when the game ends, you lose everything that you put into that game. Gacha though is in a bit of a decline, especially due to the laws being passed to put more restrictions on those systems. These free-to-play games live off gacha and ads, so if it's not sustainable, then it becomes a black hole of resources. If Missing Link couldn't capitalize on revenue systems, then the executives at the top would shutter it. We saw that with Dark Road actually, where it had a pretty tough start and then it bottomed out pretty quickly, which led to a fast shutdown. So it could be that with gacha declining, they felt that they were not able to create a system that would sustain Missing Link in the long run. Which kind of lines up with their statement that they said. Obviously, the lack of communication has definitely hurt public opinion on Kingdom Hearts. There is a ton of pressure now both internally and externally for Kingdom Hearts 4 to do well. And I think that's a very valid criticism, right? Like, they could have kept people informed of the situation. I'm sure the more bad updates that they put out, the worse the response would have been. And so they probably figured it was just better to wait until the last second to pull the plug. And honestly, like, yes, I think it's valid to have criticism. The way people are acting online is incredibly nasty. I think that the entitlement, the toxicity, completely uncalled for. I think clowning on a development team that has spent years putting this together, only for executives at the top to pull the plug at the last second, is just a terrible situation, and people jumping on the entire dev team and calling out Kingdom Hearts, I think people are mad at the wrong people. The last thing I want to briefly talk about is leaks, since I think that definitely has an impact on development. I know people are probably tired of me talking about that, but it's just a reality. While I don't think it's a complete reason for a game to get canceled, it definitely messes things up. There's no getting around that. And I think that is, while not a huge reason that it got canceled, probably encouraged it. I signed an NDA for Dark Road actually, so I'm not sure exactly what I can speak about, but during that time there were also leaks, and the campaigns that I was invited to participate in were immediately dissolved. Dark Road was essentially just pushed out to die, and that is in large part to the leaks that were going out around that time. You can say that leaks don't harm companies or like marketing or dev cycles, it 100% does. I was actually assuming that that would happen with Missing Link, where it'd just get pushed out really quickly, but it seems that Square Enix just decided to shutter the whole thing. Now, is that right from a business perspective or way to run a company? I don't know. I don't think that was the right decision. I don't think that was smart or helpful. You essentially threw away all the hard work that these devs and teams put into this game while also ruining your public image. I imagine the devs aren't happy. I imagine the fans are definitely not happy. So nobody, I don't know, this is just not a good situation. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the cancellation. I imagine the cutscenes in store will be repurposed in some way. They already have a good chunk of it done. They already have lore down. I can't see them just throwing all of that away. It might get worked into KH4. It might get put into some kind of book or series that we can catch up on or read. Ideally, we get some kind of cutscenes or compilation to give us the story of Missing Link. Regardless, I really hope that we get some kind of story from Missing Link. There are obvious story bits from KH3 and KH4 that connect to the era of Union Cross and Missing Link, and I would just really hate to lose that. Like, there's no, to me at least, as a fan, there doesn't seem to be a reason to lock all of this now that the development has already been completed, essentially. But again, I don't know what the decision was or why it was made, but I think these are kind of all the reasons why it inevitably did get canceled. Hope you guys enjoyed, and this is not a whole lot of energy either. I'm very, very bummed about all of this. So, yeah. Let me know your thoughts down below. I will see you in the next video.